Welcome back to the channel. This is Football Temple, but we are going off the pitch. Yes, off the pitch. And this time around, we'll be talking the NBA playoffs, the NBA finals, I beg your pardon. Yeah. Where we have two teams who are enjoying themselves. It's 1-1 after game 2 in the NBA
I didn't see that,
finals. The Bishop.
I didn't see that. It was a shock.
Why?
It was a shock. No, I didn't see that coming. But you know they talk person past person. We says you this sure. If I used to give out, what they call them show odds. If you don't put I will mess up that day now. I'm not gonna lie you, because with conviction I didn't see this thing happening. Yeah, not a bad team, but not the most fanciest team.
So the Pacers are clearly
enough the best offensive team from January. I'm talking about the Pacers, the best offensive team from January.
The best offensive
from January this year.
The
best offensive from January, right? So the thing is this: game 1, I saw what these guys have done. So game 1. At home, in Oklahoma, and they couldn't win that game. It was unbelievable now.
So I
didn't expect that to happen. It was a shock, even to them themselves. It's just like how what they call the Knicks, messed up in their game 1 against the same Texas, leading with almost 9 points, less than a minute to go, and they still couldn't win that game. You're leading with 15 points with about 3 minutes to go, and somehow you still couldn't win. But yeah, I understand that at the end of the day, I understand what actually happened. The guys have bad game, but that's the sign of a champion. Like, even on your bad day, you still didn't lose in a very crazy manner. Scandalously. Because Jalen Williams didn't have a good game that day. Che didn't have a good game that day. It was all about the big man himself. Shai. Not the big man per se, but the big man. Not big physically, but the big man talent-wise. Talking about Shai. That was different. That day. So it was even they were stunned themselves.
Yeah, I think
even OKC themselves were actually stunned. They didn't see that coming.
If you look at
they are not very quiet.
If you look at the bookings, look at the everything went all the way. They said they gave no chance to the Pacers. They said it was going to be Thunder.
So you're not surprised with the win for the Thunders?
I was surprised, man. I was surprised that
that Pacers won the first game, right?
Of course. I was quite surprised because everybody was like the Thunders. We agree, The big question before the finals began was, can this Pacers team outwit the defensive ability of this Thunder team? And if you look at the figures from the Thunders, it's absolutely amazing. And they said 15 points in the first game. Your Shai had a good game, 38 points in the first game, and you lost that game on the buzzer. The final throw. Tyrese Haliburton,
3 seconds to go.
What a player! I know he's done that 3 times before.
That was the time.
The other times he did was 2 was for to win the game. 1 was to take it overtime, but this one was to get the game done and dusted.
We just won.
Because before, just like 30 seconds before that happened, you realize that even Shai himself missed 2 pointers.
Which is normal though.
It's normal. Because they had done that.
But as much as first game, they let it because they were leading.
Yeah.
And then the Pacers had 5 or 6 points on the bounce.
Now
to clinch the first game rather.
Now they led. Not because they were not in their normal
style. Yes.
Because it was close.
That's how unfancy the Pacers were. That's because they are very good.
110 to 111.
That's 1 point.
On their bad day. That's
1 point.
On OKC's bad day, you just winning the game with just 1 point. That tells you that OKC is a better team. No matter how you want to look at it, it's a better team. Fast forward to game 2. It turns out to be what we want. We expect
from start to finish was one-way traffic.
The first thing they did is they make sure that there's not going to be anything like a clutch time. So you understand? There's not going to be anything like a clutch time. I mean, see, for me, in this game, right, in basketball, right, just try and avoid clutch time as far as you can, because it can swing it away.
Yeah, the final quarter,
the final 90 seconds.
Try and make sure that you lead. The question is this: come on. I mean, the New York Knicks were leading with 5 points. I mean, with 9 points, 7, 9. Yeah, I think either 7 or 9 points with about 50 seconds to go, and they still couldn't win a game.
So this has happened. But I think
yesterday, this guy exerted the authority. They shows you what.
Can I give close to the coach, Mike? Because I think he was the coach of the season last time, and this time he finished 4th of the NBA. I think he went to watch that game again and realized that. It looked like a victory, but look at he dropped that point. He dropped the ball.
Yeah,
and if you watch from the start of the game, the passion from all the players, we give Shai his flower, but Jalen Williams, Caruso, all of them stepped up, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not those who believe. He does not step up. No, but man, during the season, is so from the first game. I'm a fan of the Golden State Warriors, like he already knows, and I'm not too happy when I see a guy hit 50, 60, and the closest to him is hitting 10. It makes it look like
Exactly. That's
the power that the Pacers had. If you watch the first game, every player was hitting.
That was one them their first game.
Exactly. Charles Ingram got double figures.
No, you're talking about the Pacers.
Okay, maybe the first game.
Chad is not Pacers.
The
Miles Turner,
Aaron Naismith, all of them got exactly. God bless you.
Haliburton and the rest of them
all got double figures, and so the pressure on them. Tyrese wasn't that much. Let's look at the first game. He didn't have a fantastic game.
But in the second game,
like they had 6 players on double points.
Exactly.
In the first game. Same thing. Turner, Haliburton.
Exactly. Second game too.
The same thing again.
Haliburton has 17.
Yeah.
Miles Turner has 16. Siakam has 15.
Like
they have like 7 players.
Seven players in the second game.
They are property.
It was 2 wasn't
they are property. I mean, but the same thing.
They play for themselves. And that's
the same thing. Funny enough, the same thing we said with this guy. It's just that this guy is an exceptional talent for now. What's his name? Shai. Yeah, because him having 34 points yesterday, right?
I think he's clocked 30 in all games, in most of the games this season.
I
regular season. Shai, of course, not 30 points. Like throughout the regular season.
Yes. I think it is only either in one or two games that he scored up to 20 points.
It was that good.
And that's some history there. Now, yesterday, because they had a good game, they're equally a team, sincerely speaking. They're young.
Defensively.
The oldest, their GO8 is Caruso. They're young. Aside that, the next person is Shai. This is 7 years. Mind you, he was drafted by the Clippers. Right, and somehow the Paul George trade took him to OKC. Right, he understand that. They didn't believe in him, and they said
I think he shot his.
He always want to find a way.
Yes,
people are accusing him of that. The book of his point come from free throws.
There are
other people. They're talking about had the same style.
They all count.
All count, you understand? Almost everybody have the same style. So yesterday, talking about team, yesterday it was a team. Jalen has, I think, 19.
Yeah, Jalen Williams.
Caruso has 19. Jalen Williams, sorry.
Jalen Williams had 19. Caruso had 18.
Wiggins had
20. Yes.
Caruso had 20. So balanced team game. Then when it comes to defense, they were even the best defense team throughout the regular season. They considered the few number of baskets throughout the regular season.
If there's anything he gives to the mic, I like to the coach understand.
Yeah,
man. In the first game, it was I'm better than you. And not only like the final, anything can happen. So he went on attack. When we know his strength was defense. Exactly. So what he did was basically he controlled the game. When he needed to attack, when he needed to hold. And that's why I say I'm surprised I see teams 15 points with 10 seconds ago and they still lose the game. How? Wait, I love the USA team of the 98.
Find a way to do a reaching foul outside.
Everything a foul. A free throw.
No, don't even go to the free throw line.
No, you go to free throw. The second one you don't pot. You don't. It's smart. Make it very boring.
But I think it's amazing, and for the first time the NBA has a different look completely.
Yeah,
we're completely off from the traditional guys that we know that used to get to the NBA final.
The first ever final in Indianapolis now. I don't know about
these guys. Their first final in 20 years, right?
Yes,
20 years. I'm talking about the OKC.
And
that was the second youngest team in the history of NBA to get to the final. And that a lot has changed in the NBA. You know, in the last 7 years in the NBA, all the guys that have won the regular season, most valuable player are not of. They were not born in America.
Absolutely.
In the last 7 years.
Yes.
And guess what? Another thing. I think
the last one. The last was.
But that's on this. I think the NBA has been liberalized. That is liberalization that has been taking place. It started from last year. It's not even longer about the top 3 guys spot. You know, before now in the NBA, you have a team that you have the top 3 guys. The Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green. Then probably LeBron James, AD, and one of that. You know, now that's no longer the thing in the NBA, because if you watch the NBA this season, the 2 guys that won the 2 regular season do not have dominant names.
Yeah.
When you go to the Cleveland Cavaliers, you have Evan Mobley, you have what's his name? You have Evan Mobley, you have Donovan Mitchell is like the biggest name in Cleveland.
Yeah.
That part, almost everybody is almost at par. Same thing if you go to the OKC, and this is repeating itself back to back. We go even to the team that was second in the NBA. I mean, in the Western Conference.
Even push it down to the Celtics. When the Celtics go to the finals.
Only the double J's. Like
even the Celtics, the double J's.
Yeah,
these were the shining lights. No, these are the guys.
No, Kristaps is the guy on the icing on the cake. He's the guy that gives.
I love that.
That depth. He's the one that brings that real depth to the team.
But without him, of course, we were more of a traditional team that were good.
That way. Yeah, now we have a team that practically now we have proper teams. With the starting lineup.
We now have teams that
are three guys.
They don't depend on one person.
Three guys.
The entire team must have one.
That's what has been
they were the best team in their conference.
Yeah.
They lost just 14 games. Yeah. And they were solid 68 defensively. 68 defensively. They were solid defensively. And also going forward. The fun about the Thunders is that if they win a game, you have 6-7 players contributing to that win.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, if you take it back to, of course, maybe
2-3 years ago,
you just see Curry 42.
Logic.
And then the next person. That's all. That's what you see. Because the rest players are coming with 11 points, 13 points.
Very annoying.
But that's what I call the liberalization of the NBA. That's what I call liberalization of the NBA. It's now becoming a proper team game. Because it was a team game, but it was not an individual sport before now. It was a team game, but it was not an individual sport.
It was the individual making the team.
The individual make up the team.
And that's why the goalkeepers are dead.
They're looking like they're going to be dead very soon.
Because that's why they're dead. Because if you take away
their age, is not by their.
It's not by your number.
Somebody said no. Steph Curry. Maybe.
No, I'm talking about the box.
Milwaukee Bucks.
Come on, everyone has got some future anyway.
Yes, they have some future.
Who is the future?
I don't digress there. Let's talk about the.
Let's find out.
Now, game 3 is going to the Pacers.
Yeah, going to India.
Home. On Thursday.
What is it?
No, the other
Thursday. Yeah.
Will it be an OKC easy one?
Yeah, it's going to be an OKC easy one. Sincerely, I'm going to be shocked again if OKC drop another game immediately. They've not lost back to back.
So you're positive that we're in game 5?
I'm still positive that probably game 6. I expect this guy to win one.
One more.
Yeah, one more.
I think
they'll win one more game at home.
Let me
get me right. For several reasons, if I'm going to tip towards anybody, sincerely, I should tip towards the Indiana. Pesa, because of Siakam is our neighbor here, Cameroon here.
Yeah, Cameroon.
You understand? So because of Siakam alone, I think I should tilting, and because of how I knew how he got there.
Grew up,
through Masai Ujiri, you understand? So because of Siakam alone, I think I have a soft spot for them. But the truth is, the depth, the talent in that team is not the same compared to what we've seen with the Thunder. So I will be shocked again this time around if the Thunders cannot win game 2. I expect them to win the game 2. Game 3, the spirit is high. Practically would getting it right. They have an amazing coach, like always say. He understands the games better. He always read the game and know when to do what he's supposed to do. And not taking away anything from the players. Amazing team too. I think for
the Thunders has got a structure. You know, if you look at the guy who won the executive of the year, which is their president, Premier his name right now. He won the executive of the year this year.
Sam Presti.
Exactly, Sam. They have a structure, not only from the president to the coach to the player. Like you said, they didn't come to this. Okay, let's go and get the big names like some did. You know, they had a core. And for the support I got for Shai, the last player to win the NBA and the MVP was a certain Steph Curry, and I want to.
Looks like he's going to be beaten that this
exactly.
For that reason ago, if somebody said Shai is going to be this big in the NBA,
nobody will agree. Not me,
because the first of the NBA was even at the beginning.
Not that he's hitting 50 points though, but it doesn't need a shift. It doesn't need to hit 50.
The first of the NBA
hit 30. Let your teammates also join with 25, 20.
Let me tell you one funny thing happened during the playoff at the early stage of the playoff. Anthony Davis was prematurely crowned as the face of the NBA because of the exploit he had against LeBron James, against Jokic. You understand? People and when he finally met Shai, he became a rookie, the rookie that he is up to now. You understand? Because he made 2 years in NBA, he became the rookie that he is. So automatically, what it means right now. Before now, it was all about what's his name, Ja Morant, who's supposed to be the because whether I like it or not, these guys are facing out. This Steph Curry and the rest of them. Yeah. Now Ja Morant felt woefully for stupid reason. Character-wise, stupid reason. Now the face of the NBA right now is somebody who was not born in America, Shai, and it's looking like that is going to be like that for the longest time to come.
It started today, from the Doncic. From the Doncic
to the
Jokic, it was easing out of your Lakers gradually.
They're not still the face of the NBA because you still have the Steph Curry still doing some crazy stuff.
Because right now, nobody comes close. Yeah.
Nobody comes close.
Yeah, nobody comes close.
So a guy from Canada being the face of the NBA, it's making the NBA the proper global sport. If you ask me,
I agree with
you. Because it's been an American. You call it a very big. It now leaves a very big question mark on the Americans. Come on, what's going on? Why
are we losing the sport?
Are they not developing enough talent?
But you can't doubt them for development. Yes, you can't doubt them for development.
It's down to what?
They've opened the door, and the door is wide open. Everybody can come in and fish.
So they are making the game more beautiful. that is becoming a proper global sport?
I agree with you. I agree.
Is that what you think?
In the sense that it used to be an American sport.
It's still an American sport, my brother.
Come on. I mean, it used to be, meaning that if you look at the top teams in the NBA, you practically pick 4 or 5 players. They practically could create 4 or 5 teams and go to Olympic and win gold, silver, and bronze.
And brass.
Fact.
There's no longer that. You now see the Giannis emerge, guys coming from Euro basketball coming in and doing good
Canada,
stuff.
even Africa.
Exactly.
Even Africa.
Because of this. Let's even say it clearly. Do you know that Pascal was the MVP of the Eastern Conference?
Yeah, he was.
He won with the point. I think they're voting 1 point ahead of Haliburton. And he's an African. But guess what? Went so quiet. We didn't shout about it
Because of
words. I mean, we all shouted when this guy was given the MVP of his own conference. Talking about Shai.
Yeah.
When this guy won, I think he's have some buzzing, some noise. You understand? And also
that's why I'm making noise now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For his sake, alone, I have a soft spot for him. The talent.
So you want Pacers to go on?
What would Shai had actually done? Scoring 34.2 during the regular season, scoring more than 20 points in about 74 games. Bro, he deserves.
Let me tell you something. See, this sometimes it's not a spoiler. You know, it's a fact. I don't think the game will go beyond game 5.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're ending game 4, 5.
Game 5.
So you think automatically you means the Pacers will win another game again?
I don't think I think the Thunders have learned they learned their.
So you think the game mistake? Well, I'm thinking.
I for one, from before the finals began, I said it's gonna end in game 5. I did not see them winning the first game. That's for the Pacers. I should stick with my game.
Initially, I was thinking game 7, but I brought it down to game 6.
Game what?
Game 7.
Game 7.
Yeah. We're talking about guys that have spread of almost equal amount of talent. Each team.
Game 6, game 7.
Yeah, game 6.
Game 5.
No, game 6.
Game 5. I go game 5.
Game 6. Because there's no how Indiana will win at least a game at all.
I don't think so.
But let's go to bad quickly. Bad. It's our own. This is not our own. No, so your own. Bad.
I think simple. Let me put it simply. It has been badly managed for the past 5 years of existence.
Badly managed.
From what we've seen, we just see the same. I know I feel the same thing because of the fact that we call it the Basketball African League. But we end up
the flagship basketball in Africa.
We end up shoving players from outside.
The first question is how many people know that BAL exists?
Now that's the biggest question. Now
to how many of these players that play for?
Let's address that one first. Let's address that.
Let's start from
why you have a competition that was handed over to you with probably some business amount of money to be able to develop basketball in Africa.
Yes.
And they were found worthy to, I'm talking about the guy, Amadou Gar, right? You're found worthy to be able to do these things. The first year, we understand that things were not supposed to be. And second year down the line, nothing. We're talking about 3, 4, 5 years, 50 years. Now, here's the most annoying thing. Like you said, no track, no visibility, nothing. We're having the flagship final of the African basketball competition in Africa right now. Nobody knows about it. It's not in our media. It's not in our faces. Nobody's talking about it. That's one aspect.
Even as bad as even social media.
Even on social media.
Because that's the easiest way to get.
That is just one aspect.
Nobody's talking about
the game management itself. How can you in 5 good years manage a sport without anything to shoot for? Now you can't tell me that on what they call it, the bar 1. These are the top guys. These are the numbers. You can't go to any site right now. Google
and find it.
Now, you play a full match. You are executed in this age and era where history matters, where creating record and breaking record matters. Important. They're very important. You can't run a game without statistics. What is your statistics department doing, bro? They'll finish playing a game. Yesterday, I watched the game between Al Ittihad against Rabat of Morocco. No statistics. We don't know which guy is scoring so back point, which guy is defending better, which team is doing nothing.
Just the final scores.
The funniest thing is it's not even on any live score. If you're not watching this game live, you can't go online and say, okay, what's going on in the bar? Who is winning right now? Where is the game? How many minutes to go? That's how badly they manage it. And I wonder in this age and era, is it a rocket science to come with?
Has this really developed basketball in Africa?
It has not.
Fine.
It has not developed basketball.
There's no.
Then you now come every year. You have some I don't even know what to call it, some exhibition game here and there. You call them conference final. Then you come up with the guys that you gather them somewhere and you give attention more to the show aspect of the game than the game itself.
Who's performing?
Now, 5 years down the line, nobody can tell you categorically that for the past 5 years of the bar, this is the top guy in the bar. This is the guy that
people are struggling to even name 2 best players.
See, because they don't they come, they play the bar.
Even at that,
they play them disappear.
Even at that, get the fundamental right.
Just get the start.
Get the fundamental right. You understand? Get a department that record this game properly. Which at this era, we cannot follow the bar live on any site. on live score on anywhere. If you're not watching it, once in a while they'll drop it on one of the social media page. Maybe on Instagram they'll just drop halftime and so thing. That's all. What are you doing? How are you developing the game? That is just
the Nigerian club side.
Is the bar. Okay, let me wow. Because I'll come from the Nigerian, because I have been following Rivers Super for some time now, and I'll tell you. See, when the league begins,
do we have a league in Nigeria?
Oh, come on, we have something we call a league.
Okay.
We don't. It's something we call a league.
We have an exhibition game.
Yeah. The players who play the qualifiers don't end up making it to the bar.
Yeah,
exactly.
By the time the ball is done, you hear it. Somebody's brought from APR Rwanda, somebody's got it from France in Division 3.
That guy APR Rwanda cannot enter the APR team.
So you now come to play Rivers Hooper to play. And then development. So how do they bring this experience from the ball into the league? I know the guys running our basketball here is almost a disaster. Apologies if I'm being too harsh, but the truth remains, man. I don't think this has helped neither Nigerian basketball or African basketball.
It has something to do with the individual federation. Just everything to do with the guys actually organizing the bar. Now, if there are conditions, if there are, what are the conditions
for the teams who qualify?
Yeah, for teams qualify. Now, if the team is not meeting the condition, must the team be there?
Simple.
So, what do you actually put in place to make sure that this game develops?
Why are we having a transfer just before the bar? Why can't you stick to the players that qualified?
Why can't you even have proper competition in the different federation to determine who qualifies?
Why not supervise those federations qualifiers?
You understand? Who supervise them? Who determine who get?
Sometimes the pitches they play in the basketball league in Nigeria.
It's not the fault of the federation. It's not the fault of the federation. Here is it's the fault of the guys in charge of BAL. Because if you have a standard,
they're not doing their duty.
So it means guys that are actually in charge of BAL don't know what they're doing. Because there's nothing so special about BAL right now.
So what's the way forward?
The way forward, until they vacate their seat and allow these guys that or probably scrap the game completely, because it has not developed 5 years down the line. You can't say this is what the BAL has done to African basketball. You can't say this is an African basketball.
This is the guy that the best player we've discovered from the BAL.
Can we even
say this is a guy that progressed through the BAL?
Can we practically say a player from the BAL is ripe enough to go to the NBA?
We've not even seen that.
Ripe enough to go where?
To the NBA.
We've not even seen that.
But that means there's no development.
That is what I'm saying. No, it won't even be there in the reserves. I don't think we make the cut for
we're talking about it's a game that you cannot Google anything about the BAL.
One of the things I was excited about when I first heard of the BAL was that it opens up a backway door
to the NBA
for African players into the NBA. That's the first thing now generally that was the first thing that came to my head, that this is a door for the best talent. At least invest in young talent.
An African team
is bringing to play from the NBA BAL Africa to the NBA. And I think we just
I was looking at it differently. Essential. Here, my own was like, okay, we finally have a competition that is going to, because I feel there is money in the bar. Nobody knows about that's another thing again. Nobody even knows how they pay these guys. Nobody knows how they pay these guys. How much each players get. How much these teams are rewarded. But my thinking is this: okay, for the guys, for Africa now we have flagship basketball, just like we have teams in Africa. I mean, playing for Al Ahly of Egypt makes you okay.
Yes.
So I feel the BAL is going to give an opportunity for people that we might not be able to take to the NBA, but we have a competition that will earn enough and live a good life in Africa.
As a basketballer,
our basketball is going to develop. We will have an amazing basketball competition in Africa. But that's not what we're seeing. So it's not about going to the NBA. For me, develop the game in Africa. Let's create our own basketball and let's have our own people playing and living life as a result of playing basketball.
Like we see them in the NBA. Sign lucrative
beyond this year, you look around, you're not going to see anybody. Nobody. That's but like I said, the basic, which is keeping your record.
Okay, right, you watch some of the game, which I did. I watched the game between US Monastir and of course the past. How many people?
That was even a classification.
The main game starts today. The quarter yesterday. The quarter yesterday. Okay, let's be realistic. I think it was a play today. Look at the crowds in the stadium. Almost empty pitches. The biggest basketball league.
Empty court.
Your media is poor. Your statistics department is poor.
Really
your what they call it, your research and development department is poor. I've not seen a basketball court that has been built anywhere in Africa. They don't come and supervise the kind of court that these guys played basketball in Africa. That's what I'm saying. See, if this guy will look, if now let's assume, let's sorry to digress a little. Let me use the what they call it, the Club World Cup as an example. Now, if I know that Esperance of Tunisia, for going to Club World Cup alone, they have, for participating in the Club World Cup alone, they have such amount of money.
9.6.
And now FIFA is saying we are coming to develop this. So I'm talking about the BAL to
Rivers
Hoopers for participation.
This is what you get.
This is your participation fee.
And this money you should
Go back and build a court, proper court for yourself.
That
facilities,
proper facilities for
Rivers facilities, and match facilities.
It will give other teams to say Rivers will have done this year. I want to be the one to do next year.
Force them to have academies. I just
and for how long is he going to be there? He's not 10 not. This is 5 years now. He's going to be there forever and ever. I don't know how they did it. I know there is an input of NBA or there is part of sponsorship from NBA or whatever. But come on, these guys have done a terrible job. As far as the ball is concerned, terrible. There is no sign of positive development in basketball. Progress in African basketball. Not a single sign. Well, except probably they've kept it somewhere that they don't want us to see. Yeah, it could be possible.
We'll have to let them dig it deep. Well, it's not looking good for Bal Africa, but the Bal Africa is in quarterfinals as we speak. Nigerians Rivers Hoopers are also there. Hopefully, maybe they get to win it, but I doubt it. I don't want to use the word "it's impossible."
They were third last year.
Yeah, they were third.
That's the highest.
That's best.
Their best ever. Maybe they could go one step further this year.
Are you sure?
Can I get past APR? I rest my case.
How about the guys from even North Africa? The teams from North Africa.
The first three editions were won by North Africa.
Yes, now
they still winning.
I don't know about them. APR is the first on the quarterfinal. They lose.
The first three editions were won by Egyptian clubs.
Yes, Egyptian clubs.
No, the first Zamalek guy.
Egyptian. Yes, they're the one. They rule our football.
They rule our basketball.
They rule our emotions as well.
They rule your emotions. Off the pitch, brought to you by Azar Studios.
Thank you.